everybody. Today is June 14th, 2023. For those of us here in the United States, it's Flag Day. So, yeah, I have mine up in my window. No, I'm not going to turn the camera over so you can see it. It's privacy reasons. I mean, you see my stuff behind me, my bookcase with the printer, my fabric cabinet, and part of my china cabinet. So, unless I'm outside, that's what you're going to see for now. Just remember, yeah, I'm a psychic, clairvoyant, all that nonsense. Everything's for entertainment purposes only. So, do your own research and make your own opinions. Okay? Now, I did get hit with a bunch of questions pertaining to the I-95 stuff, and more is going to come out because those bridge trusses are designed to take a lot more than what was in supposedly a gasoline tanker. So I think there was more in the tanker. Some might say it's domestic T-word. And I just think it's really amazing that in this instance, Pete Butthead was readily available, but when a train derailed, he couldn't be found. So I think that explains a lot. So, yeah, I think it has homegrown roots, and it was pre-planned. Otherwise, it would have happened, it was pre-planned to do the least amount of collateral damage. Oh, the other thing we're seeing is, yeah, Blinken is going to be visiting the Big Red Sea. And like many have said, Blinken is one of the biggest Benedict Arnolds on earth. He should, hopefully, when there's a new administration, he will be charged just like Hillary Rodham should be for treason. Both of them are in cahoots. They're doing the same thing. They're both treasonous to the United States. And yeah, Blinken's going over to the Big Red Sea to talk about Taiwan. So I guess he's going to give the Big Red Sea our military strategy on protecting Taiwan so they can do a reverse attack. Yeah, if we people remain stupid and keep this kind of admin in, we may be all being given little red books, the thoughts and ideology of Chairman Mao, so people need to stand up and fight back and not go the way of the donkey. And now even Canada is calling out the Big Red Sea, claiming that they messed around in the last set of elections. So my Canadian viewers, please do some digging and find out what's going on. Now, the other thing that's been all over the news, and yeah, I'm going to go on my rant, which may be kind of long. We've all heard about how Billy Clinton kept all sorts of audio tapes hidden in his sock drawer. All these pertain to discussions that were in the Oval Office. Could be classified as high security. But since he was a former president who served 2 terms, you see, it's his presidential privilege to hold on to those, and where he keeps them is his own business. Well, it's kind of hypocritical that Donald took boxes of paperwork when he ended his term, and people are saying, oh, Mar-a-Lago is a public place. Mar-a-Lago really is not a public venue. You have to be scrutinized and screened to enter that property. You just, I mean, okay, ages ago, before Trump bought it, I was down in Palm Beach and I was visiting a friend who knew somebody who was a caretaker, and Since it was off season, we were taken around and showed the grounds of Mar-a-Lago, and it is gorgeous. Shortly afterwards, then Donald purchased it, and to get on the property, you literally had to go through a high-end security clearance because the security on the property it's extremely tight. Okay? So, yeah, there are some the way it's designed, there are public venue rooms. But then the house that the Post family built, where Marjorie Merriweather Post lived, is completely separate and has its own security. So you've got to be somebody tight to the family to get into there. And to get into the area where those boxes were at, you really have to be somebody, a property owner, to get to those areas because they are the extremely private family quarters. No Joe Schmo who's attending a fundraiser down by the pool is going to be able to get into the family residence and up 3 flights. It just doesn't happen. And they're saying, oh, it's this, but hey. But Billy Boy can keep his stuff in a sock drawer. Now, they're trying to bring all this up and kind of claim espionage. No, that's Blinken. Blinken is the one who's doing that. Along with Hunter, Billy C., Hilly Rodham, most definitely O'Bean Brain. They knew back in O'Bean Brain's admin that JoJo was predisposed for his brain to start disintegrating. Since they knew that Hilly couldn't get elected, that's why they put in JoJo. JoJo is a puppet. They could easily manipulate him because he does not know what's going on. That's what it is. And it's funny because O'Bean Brain has not shown his face back here in Chicago since he left. Why? I wonder why. Is it because people know he's nothing but a fool? Too many people know the ins and outs of the neighborhood of that house that still has 24/7 police protection here in Chicago. Yeah. The CPD is still required to guard that house that nobody lives in. Why doesn't he sell it? I'm sure you could sell it to someone from the Big Red Sea who would love to have his former house. After all, they've been buying up property all over the United States. Why not buy O'Bean Brain's former residence? But then it may have to come back here to be protected because Chicago is so donkey-ized that Baboon Johnson would put a wall of 10 men thick around his house to protect him. Yeah, people all over the world are starting to pay attention and start reading American law books. And they are realizing that what the donkeys are doing breaks so many federal laws that it's laughable. Yeah, legal scholars from all over are checking it out and they're laughing. If you get off the mainstream news, well, the mainstream news won't even broadcast this any longer because they are, well, I'll get onto the news, the TV stuff in a bit. But yeah, people from all over the world are realizing that everything is donkey rigged. Definitely donkey rigged. The 2 little things for the Henry and Rachel fans. Yeah, Rachel's been seen all over LA without Henry. And yeah, there's rumors that Rishi Sunak is going to kick Henry out of the country permanently. So who knows? They can't do that because he is Charles's son. But Now, I have been a victim of the donkeys. I am a victim. You see, the donkeys go out and just try and destroy every single elephant. And unfortunately, the donkeys aren't that bright because we see through them. I mean, right now, Ted Cruz is calling out the FBI on their inept behavior and how they're trying to cover JoJo's family's butts all over the place. Yeah, the FBI is donkey-ized. And, yeah, they're trying to hide the bank records that prove where JoJo and Hunter got their money from. I mean, it's on all over social media. JoJo bragging how he blackmailed the blue and yellow country into changing prosecutors. Yeah, if they want the $1 billion handout, billion with a B. If they wanted that money, they had to change federal prosecutors in the blue and yellow country. So back then, I think they were using that money to build up so they could cause the static with Vlad. Yeah. Barry Boy started the funding of Z Guy. You know, the guy that walks around in a green sweatshirt all the time? No. Okay, if you noticed, some of the mainstream television and some of the big cable, big television corporations like MSNBC is no longer NBC. It's no longer its own entity. It's been bought out. It's owned by a big conglomerate. Same with CNN. And they're okay. Now, okay, we know that the Writers Guild is out on strike. Directors Guild is trying to avoid a strike. Screen Actors Guild is supporting the Writers Guild. What people don't realize is that there's another trade union that's involved with film production. Without this trade union, it wouldn't be possible to make anything happen in Hollywood, Chicago, New York, Atlanta. It's the Teamsters. The Teamsters are the ones who provide all the transportation needed for movie and TV making, production. Who do you think picks up the actors from their house? Teamster in a vehicle, usually an SUV or a van. Without Teamsters picking them up, you see the insurance doesn't cover the production. So no actors, nobody in front of the camera. And that even goes for TV. Who do you think drives around the camera trucks for the news? Yeah. So the Teamsters are also one of the largest, if not the largest, donator, cash cow for the donkeys. Because every single member of the Teamsters Union, they have to pay dues. Dues are withdrawn out of all their paychecks. Percentage of that dues money goes to support a certain political party. So every member of the Teamsters Union, nationwide, even Teamsters International, I guess there's some in Canada, your dues money is going to support the donkeys. So in reality, the donkeys are being controlled by the Teamsters. Heaven forbid somebody who stands up and fights against them like I did. I admit it. Hey, soon as the attorney that I was using by mistake, as soon as he found out that he was snooping through my Facebook page, and he found out that I was supporting Donald, he told me to take it down. And when I refused and told him nobody's going to stifle my free speech, that's exactly what he tried to do. Well, you know what, Jeff Cummings, shove it up in your effing butt. You knew. I told you in September of 2014 I was injured. I gave you the information in February of 15 and then again in May of 15, but you see, you decided to string it out, playing with Brandon. Yeah, for several years, you kept allowing the Teamsters to have continuance after continuance. All because I supported Donald. This was there. This is how they decided to handle it. Well, you know what? I've told him nobody's going to shut down my free speech. Sweeties, I'm on disability. Yep. I'm disabled. I don't have any outside income. And, hey, I don't think I'll ever go monetized. You see, if I have anything worth over $3,000, the Teamsters can take it from me. Because I called them out? Yes. If you don't want to be known as a boys' club, remove brotherhood from your title. And oh yeah, it was some production coordinators who gave little Lucy the nickname convenient hire, not me. But then Lucy is a member of the BLM and likes to dox me. Yeah, I did change federal labor law because I stood up and fought. Yeah, the first federal judge dismissed it with prejudice, but because my attorney wanted to make a name for himself, yeah, we did win the appeal, which embarrassed the Teamsters. Big time. They all cringed. Pretty bad when you're walking out of the appeal court and the judges are giving you a thumbs up. Yeah. And then soon as the attorney decided to go against me, the female attorney on the case had to withdraw. He brought in this other guy, Steve. I saw Steve 3 times, never talked to him. Yeah, he's a big buddy of Jeff Cummings. He's now a federal magistrate on the 7th Circuit Court. So anyone in the United States, in the Chicago area, if you get him as your magistrate, demand to be reassigned to somebody. And also avoid Susan Cox. I assume she's also been received something beneficial from the Teamsters Union. You see, Illinois, all the courts, every single court is run by the donkeys. No one's going to gag me. No one's going to tell me to be quiet. No one. Yeah. So, and if you notice, okay, so because the Teamsters run the entertainment television industry, that's why you're not seeing Donald on CNN or MSNBC or any of these others, because they're donkeys. They don't want the #1 elephant on their networks. Yeah, they don't want their #1 elephant on their networks. No, I'm not afraid to call them out, because my family knows if something weird happens to me, they know where to go looking. Best way to hide? In plain sight. Okay, folks. That's my rant for today. I've got other things to take care of. Yeah, I'm putting this up on Truth Social also. And Twitter. Bye.